So I should.
So you want to like talk about anything?
Yeah, we can talk about their decks, which are pretty pretty wild. Unga, let's see, they go by uh, David and I don't know Arthurek, also known as Brandon, who's the opponent who is not yet on Cockatrice. Um, are going to be playing today. Uh, Unga is on some kind of whack Skred list that's incredibly aggressive, running four
It's like a
Torbran.
mid-range spread.
It's like,
It's like more like a I don't know. It's not like more controlling as
yeah,
traditional spread is.
mm-hmm. Running a playset of Simian Spirit Guides and Torbran Thrain of Redfell. Throwback to like standard. um, I don't think I've ever seen this card see play in Modern, but it's a 4 of in this deck. Incredibly powerful red spell. As long as well as 3 main deck Blood Moons. This
I
might
would
be.
have
Hmm?
I would have thought that they want to maximize on moon effects like 4 Maguses and 4 Blood Moons.
Yeah,
I guess that's not
interesting.
the case.
Yeah, he is on 2 Magus and 3 Blood Moon itself, which is an interesting split. Um, of course, Magus being a creature that can attack and kill your opponent, but it's also vulnerable to creature removal. Um, he's also playing Pioneer All Star Ash Zealot, which is a red for a 2/2 haste, and whenever your opponent casts a spell from the graveyard, it deals 3 damage to them.
It also has first strike.
Oh, it does have first strike. I missed that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is a spicy list. Um,
And well, I mean, Blood Moon is going to match up against against Valakut decks, isn't it?
yeah, and Aetherek, aka Brandon, uh, is is on a brew of his own. Um, it's some sort of scapeshift brew with I believe, yeah, a Yorian Scapeshift brew that's playing Primeval Titan, Scapeshift, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, as well as 4 Elvish Reclaimers, 4 Stoneforge Mystic. This deck is wild, and I'm so
Fourth
excited.
Ranger Captain of Eos.
I missed that. 4 Ranger Captain of Eos to search up, and I had
And
to
a
look this
Kami
card
of a
up.
False Hope.
Yeah, I had to look this card up. Realm Right. It is a 1 blue for a 1/1. ETB, choose a basic land type, and your lands become that type in addition to their other types. So that's kind of like the important half of of Dryad for the Scapeshift Valakut combo. That is
Hmm.
tutorable with what is it, Ranger Captain. So Blood Moon
I
will be putting
mean,
in work here, but I have
I
no
looked at the
idea
deck,
how this plays out.
but yeah, me neither. I just don't know, like, what's if you're like, aggressive or if you're trying to just
I imagine
ramp, if you're
it's
like
I imagine its game plan
traditional.
just depends on what it draw depends on what you draw, because we've seen Yorian Scapeshift decks that are more controlling. This one is kind of mid-rangey with the Stoneforge package, but I don't know, man. This is gonna be a wild match. It looks like both of our players are here. We can give them the go ahead to start.
So, what do you think the matchup's going to be like?
Um,
Is Scratch favored or is Valakut favored?
I think if the Skred deck can get a moon down before Brandon's brew, I don't even know what to call this, a Scapeshift pile can get either basics or ways to deal with Blood Moon, then I think the Blood Moon and a threat can take over the game. I would say that Unga David is slightly favored, but I I have no idea.
Look at the main deck. There's no way to deal with Blood Moon. So, if
Believe I saw Teferi Time Raveler in there.
Fairy,
Uh,
is there
Teferi, and it looks
there?
like just yeah, 2 Teferi
Two
Time
copies.
Ravelers. Um, There is the tried and true method of just killing your opponent if they have a Blood Moon, which Brandon can do with Stoneforge, the Stoneforge package, and Uro, which is in this. I don't think we mentioned that. There's just so much going on here.
And Ren at 6.
Yep, and Renin 6, and Tyros Tracker, and Primeval Titan. This deck is wild.
I imagine this deck would pick up a bit from the new Omnath.
Yeah, I could see the new
I don't know.
Omnath being really good in this deck. It
I don't know if they will
is,
play it, but probably
yeah.
will.
Is it 5 color or just 4?
It's
There's an
4-color sans black, I think.
there is an Indatha Triome, which is the Abzan one. Don't know why though.
I
Yeah.
think it's for Fuel Dead.
Ah, yeah, that would make sense. Um, yeah. Aetherek, wondering if we're ready to start. We have given the okay in Discord. Um, oh, and we need to make an announcement. Oh, looks like someone's already on that. Okay. We have Brandon up top with his Yorian Scapeshift brew. And David on bottom with Aggro Skred.
Yeah, I think we call it Aggro Skred. Seems about right.
Alright, and David's going first. Yeah, these are incredibly unique deck lists. Kami of the False Hope, that's the... Isn't that the destroy all lands if you play that other card?
No, it's 1 white mana for 1/1 that sacrifices itself to fog,
Oh,
basically.
yeah. I am not upset with myself for missing that one. Looks like both players mulliganing. Both to 6 so far. David keeping 6. It looks like Brandon keeping as well. Alright, and we're off. David David immediately drew a card on the play.
Off to a great start.
We're immediately off to a stop.
Shift D.
Yep.
And shuff, I think. And shuffle.
I don't. They are not supposed to shuffle. I believe was the judge ruling I heard, but we should double check that. Let's ping some judges. Luckily, we have a vibrant judge community here. Oh, if you want to do it, feel free.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe you're supposed to not shuffle unless you're doing opening hands. And since the game kind of already started, I think we shouldn't be shuffling, but I am no judge. So, looks like we have 2 judges online. We'll get that sorted out real quick. In the meantime, we can keep talking about Brandon's spicy brew. Let's see, one of Ghost Quarter main. Oh, I guess there's also a land package for the 4 of Elvish Reclaimer. Alright, I'm starting to get a feel for this deck. It's like a land... It took me a while, but I had to read over it like 4 or 5 different times. But it looks like a ramp deck with a Ranger Captain package, an Elvish Reclaimer package, and a Stoneforge Mystic package. So that is pretty wild. Right. Oh, and we got an answer from one of our amazing judges.
The answer is yes. So,
Okay.
shuffle.
All right. Oh, wait, no, don't shuffle. Tell them not to shuffle. He knows the bottom card. No!
Oh,
Oh
ah,
no!
no.
Oh no. Tell- Everything is going wrong.
And we haven't even started yet. We haven't even played
The
the
ma-
first land.
There has not. No. This is not good. Can you tell him? I can't type in the cockatrice chat. Would you mind telling him to hold on for a six? Or for a sec?
That's just.
This is a mess. I think the fix is unfortunately just do nothing. Um, like I don't think we can fix it at this point. Because we are on cockatrice, there are replays available to both of the players, so we could have them fix it that way. Um,
You
but
can't see the replay until you quit the game. Until the game.
yeah, so I talked to the judges, and I don't remember the conclusion they came to, but we might be able to uh, just assume that that David is not cheating when he fixes it, and then just go back and check the tape to make sure he didn't, because we'll be able to see. Um,
Yep. I think
but
that's. I think that's.
yeah, but that might just be too much effort. But it just might be like too difficult. Depends on how the judges rule it, because there aren't official rules for watching the or for playing tournaments on cockatrice. Um, okay. Judge said just continue playing. Uh, and for the third time, we're off. And we saw David's first turn a bit there, which was just land go. Um,
I mean, not surprising considering the deck has no one drops.
yeah, I'm surprised to not see Chalice of the Void in this main deck, given that he's not playing any proactive one drops. I guess he's playing the 4 bolt 4 Skred.
Yeah, yeah, Skred is definitely a problem.
Tap land from Brandon, getting his mana all nice and set up. These Triomes have been great as a Niv Mizzet player. I love them. They make your mana so easy. I still miss Astrolabe.
I'm just thankful that Astrolabe is gone.
I don't know, man.
Well,
I just want to be able to cast Magus of the Moon in my 5-color deck. That's all I want. Alright, looks like we have a 2-drop from Brandon. What'll it be? Probably a Stoneforge Mystic. I think that's the only actual 2 CMC spell that I can see while skimming the list. Also a Ren and 6, but you of course can't cast it with the planes. Alright.
getting down Stoneforge ahead of Blood Moon here is actually quite key because now you have Stoneforge and you activate Stoneforge, and it might be difficult for the Skred Red to deal with, especially if there's a Sword of Fire and Ice.
Yeah, that's true. Protection from David's entire deck. The basic planes, of course, going to be really important if David has a Blood Moon. Which, given his slow start, wouldn't surprise me, because these tournaments are open deck lists for the top 8. So David knows what Brandon's playing. And based on what they said in chat, it seemed like they played early in the tournament as well. So he might know how effective Blood Moon is. Oh, and probably going to see a 1-mana removal spell. Yep, for this Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, and he did tutor up a Sword of Fire and Ice from the Stoneforge. Oh, and do we see a Blood Moon slammed? Ooh, Spirit Guide, so we might see a Torbran. It's a 4 CMC spell. Yep.
It is a Torbran.
Turbocharging all of David's red spells, or at least all the ones that deal damage, which is probably most of them. Yeah, this is a 4-mana 2/4 that has 3 red pips, but makes all your red damage sources deal 2 more, including itself, I believe. Yeah.
It does
So
include itself.
yeah, so it's effectively a 4/4. Let's see if Brandon can find an answer to it. David is only at 2 cards in hand because of that Spirit Guide. 3 mana for an Uro. Obnoxiously powerful magic card. Recently banned in Standard. Probably, probably
Snake.
good. Um, let's see. No answer to the Torbran. He, of course, might have, I believe he plays 4 Path to Exile in the main deck. That could be just an instant speed spell he's holding up. Risky because David could just have an instant speed play to respond to the path. But might pay off. Looks like his only clean answer is the path. Brandon's answer to Torbran, the path. He could also.
Brandon deck.
Hmm?
I'm sorry, go on. I mean, saying Brandon's deck's full surprises because I didn't see the path when I first looked over the deck.
Yeah, there's a lot of different spells and lands there. An Ash Zealot coming down from David. Having haste is really good with Torbran because you just get in there and deal damage immediately. This will be an attack for 8, which is a lot. We see all of it coming in. Does Brandon have an answer? It looks like he doesn't. And I'm gonna put him on no bolt based on his not killing of the Ash Zealot there. Because I think he would do that
I don't
before damage.
plays Bolt, actually.
Oh, he has Helix. My bad. Thought I saw Lightning Bolt. Who knows? He could be playing anything. You could name any magic card, and I would not be surprised to see it in this deck list. Fetching the
Fish.
basic forest for the Blood Moon. Let's see what he has on for. I've played a lot of Yorion piles myself, and lots of the decks benefit from just running sweepers to because you're so slow in the early turns. It can help you catch back up, but I don't see any in Brandon's list. Of course, would not be surprised if I was just missing them.
I think you're indeed correct. I see no sweepers. Although Valka does kind of count as a sweeper sometimes.
I mean, if you scape shift Valakut, kill your opponent, that's kind of like sweeping their board. So I'm gonna count
It's a
it.
good player removal.
Yeah. All right, Brandon mulling over his options here. He's not made his land drop either. There's just so much going on in this deck. I'm not at all surprised by how long he's taking. And a Tireless Tracker. Yep, that one's in here. Tireless Tracker's main deck. Would be surprised if this doesn't eat a removal spell, given that David he didn't play a land drop and he only made 1 proactive play. He's had 2 cards in hand for a while, but you never know. Shocking with the Sacred Foundry, also interesting when you're so low on life.
I find with this deck that if it has the perfect draw, I think you can beat pretty much any deck. Just as long as you draw the right card for the right task.
David's deck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine turn 1 Blood Moon is pretty good
I
against
mean,
a lot of
Brandon's deck.
decks. Oh,
Because there's
Brandon.
just so much different things going on.
Yeah. The the downfall of Yorion decks we've seen several times on stream, just like not drawing the key pieces they need in the matchup because they are 80 cards. And notably, it doesn't look like Brandon has any particularly impactful ways to abuse Yorion other than Stoneforge Mystic and Primeval Titan. No real powerful ETB effects. I guess Uro, but you don't really want to flicker that one.
No, I mean, if you have a Primeval Titan on the battlefield, I presume you're
Yeah.
probably already winning. So
Yeah, that's usually the case. But an interesting, I don't know, conundrum Scapeshift decks have is needing to run enough mountains. So I've seen Scapeshift lists. I've heard of Scapeshift lists without Yorion before companions play more than 60. So you might just be playing Yorion because you want to play more than 60 anyway, which is a really unique spot to be in. An Eidolon coming down from David. This card cleaned up in the Pioneer tournament. It if it's unchecked, it will just win the game, especially with a Torbrand in play, just powering it up.
yep. Right now we're looking at just one spell of less than 3 CMC, which is be lethal for Brandon.
Yeah, this is not looking good. He needs a way to kill Eidolon and Torbrand, which if he hasn't been able to kill Torbrand yet, I doubt he can find one.
What could work right now is land to Primeval Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
That Land Primeval Titan would probably get him back in this, which of course he can't do now. But Primeval Titan could go fetch up a Field of the Dead, and that could just gum up the board, to where David would have to burn him out, which he can probably do.
Double Bolt.
Yeah, double bolt is all it takes because of Torbrand.
He already cast one bolt though, so
Mm-hmm.
probably needs to find some more bolts. And there's
Yeah.
no card draw in the deck either.
Yeah, there's no real way to get card advantage other than Bone Crusher Giant or the virtual card advantage that comes with locking your opponent's mana down, which I think counts. Blood Moon is my favorite card draw spell. And are we seeing, ooh, a Dryad. Now if he has a Field of the Dead, that could be powerful. Or if he has a Valakut, oh, neither. Unfortunate. Because this Dryad
Just one
is...
bolt.
I'm sorry?
Now he's just one bolt away from dying, so
This Dryad is going to have to block. So this is effectively just 3 mana play a land. Or 3 mana explore, don't draw a card. Because it saves the same amount of damage as you would take from it when you cast Eidolon. Oh, but it does get the Eidolon out of play. Now he's dead to a lot of things. Oh, I did totally forget that there's an Uro
yeah,
in this graveyard.
yeah.
But it
Oh,
doesn't matter. That's
I was just
probably
going
going
to
to be the
say,
game. Oh, go ahead.
Rampaging Frostodon against Field of the Dead is also quite good.
Yeah. Looks like David saw Brandon's deck list and was like, you know what? I hate you. Just
Once
registered
again,
exactly what kills it.
Rampaging Frostodon. Oh,
Scapeshift would win the game right here. I forgot that that's just a spell you can cast and win.
Escape
All
Shift
right.
plus a land, because 7 lands doesn't do it right now.
Doesn't it? Oh, it doesn't. You're
Nope.
right. Yeah. Big draw. What's he got? What's he got? Let's find out. I'm on the edge of my seat. Brandon, what did you draw? The inconsistency of Yorion might come back to bite him. Because, interesting. I would expect to see a concession if he didn't draw a Scapeshift or a Titan. But this pause makes me think that he drew something. I have no idea what it could be.
We know that one of his cards is Sword of Iron Ice, so that's
Mm-hmm.
even worse.
Yeah, that doesn't do a whole lot.
Would Battle Skull do it? Would Battle
Um,
Skull be alive?
Escape. So, Batterskull
Escape.
would probably buy him some time, but Aetherk asking a judge question, he would take damage off the Eidolon, because yeah, it escape is an alternate casting cost, so it doesn't actually change the converted mana cost of the spell. Unlike something like Kicker, which does change the CMC of a spell.
Kicker does
Very
not
straightforward. Oh, it doesn't? I thought it
doesn't.
did. Okay, what do I know?
Kicker's an additional casting cost.
Yeah, I thought that changed the CMC. All right. One of us is bad at magic, and it's probably me.
No, we're all bad at Magic.
Yeah. Except for, of course, our lovely top eight, who is skilled enough to make it into the top eight of this tournament. Very, very prestigious tournament.
Exactly. I didn't even make it out the group stage.
Yeah, it can be tough. All right, now let's look at these guys' sideboards. For David on Aggro Skred, we have relevant cards being 2 boils, and that looks like the only really impactful thing I see in his sideboard is the 2 boils that, of course, work with Dryad or work against Dryad of the Elysian Grove, because all of your lands become islands.
I would think he would bring the Braid as well against the Stoneforge package.
Yep, that's true. A Braid could be good against Stoneforge. He also has 2 Shattering Sprees in the side, but I don't think that's worth it against just the Stoneforges. From
Me
Brandon,
neither.
we have 3 Aether Gusts, really powerful magic card, especially right now. That looks like the main thing going on here. I could see maybe Blast Zone. Actually, probably not, because he doesn't play any proactive 1-drops. Oh,
Blast Zone is an out to Eidolon if he ever needs it.
that's
So
true.
maybe
And, oh, not Bloodband, but
it's
yeah.
a Force Tender,
Yeah,
which is protection from dead.
and it's a 1-drop that can be tutored up with Ranger Captain. There's a lot going on in this deck, and I am loving it. Makes me want to put together a new Niv Mizzet list. That deck is my jam, and I haven't played it in a while. I unfortunately had to miss this tournament, but looks like Brandon's ready to start. David taking a little longer, which is understandable because he has to read all these cards. But yeah.
So a complaint is coming from Kazu, who says that the stream does not have matching shock lands.
Oh, I don't know if there's a lot that I can do about that. It is me streaming, so it's my fault. But to change that, you have to dive into the settings, and it's a lot, and I am lazy.
That's not a lot. Just go to card database and go to manage sets.
Okay, we can figure it out in between games 2 and 3. Because we're back for game 2 with Brandon on the play, revealing his good old pal Yorion. Bird, Serpent. Interesting, Serpent is a creature type. I didn't know that. Thought it would be like Snake.
Well, there is 38 cards with the type Serpent, and the latest card beside Yorion is probably Lochmere Serpent and Lava Serpent as well.
Where are those
Serpent's
from?
basically Lochmere Serpent is an Eldraine rare. Lava Serpent is Ikoria common, and so I think Serpents are just basically big snakes or like sea snakes.
Yeah, creature types in Magic are weird. Alright, and we see the one of Indatha Triome in the non-black deck. Field of the Dead is an important card. And you need different lands for that.
He does run Mainline of the Void and sideboard, so potentially.
Oh, does he have 2 black sources? I know there's the one.
And also Dryad, I guess.
This deck is great. I love this. All right. I'm sorry?
I'm just looking at the deck list again. There is no second black source as far as I can tell.
Turn 2 Elvish Reclaimer from Brandon. This card, I'm sure, turns on a lot within the deck, being able to tutor up like Field of the Dead or Ghost Quarter or any other utility lands. Flagstones of Trocaire comboing with it, because you get to sacrifice the flagstones to go search up 2 lands, as
4
opposed to the
copies of
normal just one.
flagstones.
Mm-hmm.
Fact.
And it dies. Yeah, unsurprising to see removal from David's very red heavy, or removal heavy red deck. That is all he has. Is the game plan of kill the first thing you do, play a Torbran, and then attack going to win again? It was enough the first game. Let's see if he can do it again. The basic planes also being relevant once again. See a second Reclaimer from Brandon.
I think we're going to see a second Skred. Just a prediction, though.
Hey, it could be Bolt this time. We see another tap land from Brandon.
Well, also works.
Yep.
That is true.
But I would advise that David kill this. Oh, and a Stomp. We were both wrong. One of the few ways to get actual card advantage in this deck, because it kills something and then is a creature.
Clean 2 for 1.
Yep. Giving it the old adventure annotation. So that Bone Crusher is adventured as we go into Brandon's 4th turn. Let's see. Oh, and there's the Flagstones. Unfortunately, both of his Reclaimers died, so he doesn't get to get fancy with it. This card is...
He does have 2 more.
Yeah, he has 2 more, but in an 80 card deck, I would be surprised to see another one. That said, it's happened before. Flagstones of Trocaire seeing lots of play with the new Cleansing Wildfire card, because you can cast it on your own Flagstones and basically do the Elvish Reclaimer effect, where you go get 2 lands instead of just 1, and you get to draw a card.
True.
As well as the Wildfire being able to target your opponent's lands if you play against like a big mana like Tron or Amulet deck.
I remember playing Flagstones a long time ago in a deck that's called Martyr Proc.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Stoneforge coming down from Brandon. Martyr Proc is mono, or it's not mono white. It depends. I've seen it Mardu or black white. It's just a life gain deck revolving around what is it? Martyr of the Sands and Proclamation of Rebirth.
And Sarah sent it
Yeah.
as a big 6 lifelink beater.
Mm-hmm. It's like a off-brand Soul Sisters deck. Probably better than Soul Sisters, if we're being honest, but... Alright, will this Stoneforge survive? Oh, and Brandon did tutor up the Batterskull with this Stoneforge. Ooh, and a Magus. Magus interacts with Flagstones in an interesting way. If you play another one, it is still a legend, so you have to sacrifice one of them to the legend rule, but it loses its ability to go search up a plains, so you have to sacrifice and get no value out of it.
That is true. But Meg is also a blocker for Batterskull, if ever comes to that.
I feel like you usually don't want to be blocking Batterskull with a Magus, because that Magus is going to shut off a lot of Brandon's deck, only having access to white and red mana right now.
And remember, if Brandon now plays Dryad, Dryad is newer than Magus, so Brandon gets all the land types.
Yep, the way Dryad of the Elysian Grove interacts with Magus and Blood Moon effects is just based on timestamp, because they use the same layer. I can't tell you any more about it, because layers are scary.
Well, I have to study it sometimes, so
Good
I better
luck,
get used
my
to
friend. It. Yeah. And untapping with the Stoneforge Mystic, so we will likely see a Batterskull come into play. But that might just be all Brandon can do because he only has one white mana, unless he has any red spells. No land drop, so all spells or possibly more flagstones in hand.
There are no just red spells. I guess Lightning Helix is
Yeah.
castable in this situation.
Other castable spells include Path, that also gets rid of the Magus. Any other Stone Forges he has are castable, but that's about it. Chain Whirler, interesting inclusion. It's a 4 of in this list. I haven't seen it see much play in Modern, but is this another Chain Whirler? This will kill the Stone Forge, but it gets to put in the Batter Skull if it activates here. And looks like that's what we're seeing.
Chain World does see as a one of probably in modern goblin lists.
Yeah, that would I wouldn't be surprised to see it there, but seeing it as a 4 of something I wouldn't have expected. This Batter Skull coming down with its germ.
Chain Whirler is notable for its combo with Torbrand, which deals 3 to each opponent and each creature they control.
And Planeswalker. This guy does a lot of text. Uh, but yeah, this Batter Skull is just brick walling everything. It looks like it can't attack here because it can get double blocked and just eaten by the first striking Chain Whirlers, but they can't attack into him either. So looks like Brandon has stabilized, albeit under a Magus of the Moon. Don't forget about this Bone Crusher Giant that will be able to come down and get through the germ. Oh, I guess Brandon could also cast any of the equipment he's drawn from the Stoneforge package. He also has a sort of Fire and Ice, which we saw in Game 1. And I think just the 2. Unless I'm missing one, which wouldn't surprise me.
I don't see any other equipment in his deck, so I think that's just it.
Coming in with an attack, he tapped the Batter Skull, which it has Vigilance, but I think this is an attack with the Batter Skull. Are the players in a voice call, or are they just using the... No, I don't think they are, so they're just using the chat. So, I don't... I don't know what's happening here, because he can just double block, and if he has a removal spell, he probably would have wanted to use it on the Magus instead of... Because he can, if the Chain Whirlers double block, kill one of the Chain Whirlers and then eat the other one. But I would imagine getting mana is more important. But yeah, we're seeing a path on a Chain Whirler.
I don't know, maybe just getting the Batter Skull beats is currently more important. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Of course, I cannot claim to know anything that's happening in Brandon's deck. It is a wonder to behold. Seeing, buying Yorion. Yep, that's another thing he can do. Doesn't count as casting a spell, though. So I think we're safe there. We didn't miss that. He can't play the Yorion.
So in terms of basics, Brandon has, in addition to the planes he currently has, a snow-covered forest, a snow-covered plains, a regular forest, and an island and a mountain. Mountain's not that important, so it's just the forest and the island. So with the island, he could cast Yorion, which doesn't do much right now.
Or
It's
the snow-covered plains, I believe. Yeah, it's batter. This germ does have vigilance. Tapping the Batter Skull. Yeah, it looks like the players are just making sure they know what's going on. But yeah, this Bone Crusher is an actual threat. It is a threat, being a 4/3 that trades with the germ. But Brandon is, of course, just one land away from being able to simply replay the germ.
You can't race it, though, because the Batter Skull has lifelink.
Yeah, that's true. Batter Skull just being a house in these grindy decks. David better hope he brought in that Abrade and he draws it.
Just Splint of Abrade is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you usually see Abrade as maybe 2 or 3 ofs in red sideboards, but only 1.
Mm-hmm. He is playing 2 Shattering Spree for artifacts. There aren't a ton of artifact decks going around. Remember, this is pre-Zendikar. I know there is a Scales list I've seen, but I don't believe that's not the traditional like hardened scales affinity. It's more just green white value that also plays cards with +1/+1 counters. So I don't know what all the shattering sprees are for, but looks like another
Shatter.
attack.
I was about to say that Shattering Spree does kill Chalice of the Void, but I don't think that's much of a concern in
Mm-hmm.
deck.
Yeah, and here we see the Germ trade with the Bone Crusher. And now Brandon can just rebuy the Batter Skull for its for 3 mana. Oop. And a Pennington Forge Tender from the sideboard. Pro red. Also just brick walls here. Oh, if Brandon just untaps next turn, he'll get to equip the Batter Skull to the Forge Tender and have a what 5/5 pro red creature with vigilance and lifelink, and that'll probably just be game over.
Yeah, I would be just looking to kill Battleskull ASAP.
Yeah. So this is an interesting moment. Coming in for 5, I would be. If he blocks, if the Forge Tender blocks either of the red creatures, and David has another Bone Crusher Giant, the Stomp has this hidden flavor text that says, "Damage can't be prevented." Yep, wisely not blocking here, because protection, you still can't target it with the or with the Stomp, but if you just stomp face, then protection wouldn't stop combat damage from happening.
Oh,
Two
no.
Eidolons. This is intense. Brandon is gonna take 4 if he casts anything lower than 4 mana. But at the same time, he has a 5/5 pro red vigilance lifelinker. So I don't know who's winning. I think it's Brandon actually, but we'll never know.
Could be anyone's game, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know if David can actually get rid of this Forge Tender other than stomp face when, blocks happen. And it has vigilance, so it gets to he gets to hold it back. This is looking rough for David, who took a nice clean game 1.
One thing we do see sometimes in red sideboard is the card Kozilek's Return, which deals
Mm-hmm.
2 damage to each creature, but it is devoid, so has no color, so it gets around the protection from red clause.
Mm-hmm.
But we do not see this in David's sideboard.
Yeah, it's also a bit too late for it now because 2 damage will not stop a 5/5. 2 more turns, or David has 2 more turns to find an answer to whatever's going on right here.
I would say one more turn because of the both double Eidolons.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get locked under his own Eidolon soon, which is always a scary place to be. Of course, protection. It also stops the red creatures from blocking too. This is a 5/5 vigilance lifelink. What is it? Unblockable creature. Think this is David's last turn, and he can't cast any non-creature spells. So we're probably gonna head to game 3. And yep, going to game
Brandon
3.
taking a likely game 2 victory here.
Yeah. All right, quick. How do I make my Shocklands match?
So go to manage sets and search the set that you want and put it to the top, basically. So, for example, you might want Expedition.
Let's go with that.
Basically, yeah.
Expedition. Oh, Zendikar Rising Expedition. So I just move it to the top?
I think it's Battle for Zendikar.
Oh, yeah. Expeditions. Zendikar Expeditions. And I just move that to the top.
Yep.
Bam. Alright. Hopefully that fixes the issue of having mismatched lands. Which, of course, is punishable by death, because match or die. Yeah, so, Mac, are there any Zendikar cards you're really looking forward to getting to play in the next Modern tournament?
Next, modern tournament. Not
Or Pioneer.
really. Pioneer. The Saturday's tournament. I'm looking to play 4-color on math ramp,
Oh, yeah.
which seems quite good right now.
Yeah, it's the best deck in Standard. It's probably the best deck in Pioneer, too. Yeah,
It
I
does
have not
some.
prepared enough for this weekend's tournament. If anyone in chat is unaware, Cockatrice, the program, or like they are hosting a tournament that I think we're fine advertising for. You can ask around for the link if it's not already. I'm sure we posted it somewhere, but they're hosting a tournament in Pioneer this weekend, and we're back. Uh, David on the play this time. Let's see if an early Blood Moon can make this game really easy. Dirty Mac posting it in the Twitch chat. Thanks. Uh-oh. Looks like David had a no-lander. Had he already mulliganed?
I
No.
think he
Okay,
mulliganed
that...
6.
Yeah, okay. He's just at 6. It's not that bad. Could be worse. No one's at 5 yet. Yorian revealed for Brandon. And we're off. Classic Mountain Pass. Oh, Mountain Spirit Guide. Turn 1 Ash Zealot.
Basically a better Goblin guide.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Coming in for 2. It's not super important in this matchup. The only real graveyard card is Uro. But it is a 2-2 haste that attacks. Which, I don't know, might just close out the game. Interesting to see the Spirit Guide accelerate this out instead of any important 3-drops next turn.
I imagine he has 2 Spirit Guides. Or 2 Ash Zealots.
Yeah, that would make sense. And yep, we see the second Ash Zealot after the turn 1 Reclaimer from Brandon. Off the basic forest, too. So he's taking some damage, but he won't lose to Blood Moon, probably.
Well, Blood Moon won't matter if yours already dead, so...
That's true, yeah. But it wouldn't be a loss to Blood Moon. And Brandon in the tank. Playing a Ghost Quarter. Interesting. Reclaimer does, of course, grow if there are 3 or more lands in grave. Currently there's 1. Or in his grave. Currently there's 1.
If he goes quarter his own land, he could get it up to 3-4.
Yeah, that is true.
Just a potential play.
He would have to, like, effectively strip mine himself, but that might be worth it. I don't know.
You're on the defense there. I think you would just try to prevent as much damage as you would like.
Yeah. This is a 4 lightning bolt deck. So you don't want to go too low. Seeing the block. Is he going to Ghost Quarter himself? Or is he just going to activate Reclaimer? Or neither. Is he just going to chump block? Right. Options. He could also just, activate it, sacking probably the Ghost Quarter because he doesn't want to lose his basic for Blood Moon. Go get any land of his choice. And he has so many.
Oh, he could block and sacrifice it to get a fetch land and fetch.
It does come
So
in tapped.
The
land comes in tapped, yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, not good at Magic.
It's okay. We're all bad sometimes. Alright, so he has already declared a block on one of these Ash Zealots. So he is in the tank. Notably, these Ash Zealots with First Strike, if David has some sort of burn spell, he can burn the Reclaimer and it'll die to First Strike before the Ash Zealot dies. Which would be quite the blowout. David is getting pretty low on cards for as little life as Brandon's at. Going to 11 after this tech. I'm sorry?
Trading cards is a valid philosophy. The philosophy of fire.
Brandon in the tank on this block. We'll never know what's in his hand. But there are lots of things that could make this decision very hard. Let's see. So from David, main 2, I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of Magus effect, or Moon effect. We could also see he also plays the 4 Chain Whirler that we saw in game 2, as well as 4 Rampaging Ferocidon. Too powerful for Standard, finally getting its play in Modern that it has deserved for so long. There's also a fun card to answer the cat combo in Pioneer. All right. It looks like he's doing it. He's ghost quartering himself. Now,
Should float 1 mana here.
Yeah, it would be technically correct to float 1 green, but I don't think Brandon has any 1 green instance. So, and he has the path.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, I was going to say mana so that you can also activate Elvish Reclaimer.
Yeah, that's true, but All right. Now this is it. If David has a burn spell, the Elvish Reclaimer will die. Oh, and he doesn't. And he just passes the turn. So Brandon ghost quartering himself for the win. Not literally, of course. David does still have 2 cards in hand, but 2 cards in hand to Brandon's 6. I'd be feeling pretty good if I was Brandon right now. Of course, we have these beautiful puppy planes. Thank you, Jumpstart, for the beautiful planes.
I just use unstable points and any other basic for this matter.
Yeah, I just use whatever basic Cockatrice defaults to. I'm not picky. In my real life Niv Mizzet list, I got the Zilla lands from a friend, and those look sick. And probably a Torbrand from David. Powerful 4 mana spell. Brandon already used the 1 path, so let's see what he does to get rid of this Torbrand. Activating the Reclaimer. Going to get the Flagstones like we talked about earlier. Now if he activates the Flagstones, it's effectively a Rampant Growth. And the Reclaimer can just get another Flagstone, so he does it again.
And Flagstones can get any planes, not just basic ones.
Yep. But he does need to answer this Torbrand. He will die. He's at 13. Ooh, land from David. Not what you want to see. You really just need spells at this point. Attacking for 4. Because remember, it is 2 plus 2, which is 4. Math. No blocks from Brandon. Of course, he doesn't want to just chump with his Reclaimer. That's going to turn into a Rampant Growth every turn. That's a card you kind of want to keep. 2 mana Rampant Growth. Let's see, Standard All-Star, Rampaging Ferocidon come down.
1 sec, my headphones died.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'll be flying solo for a little bit. Rampaging Ferocidon prevents players from gaining life, and whenever a creature enters, the controller takes 1. So, and it also has Menace, of course, because it was a Menace in Standard. It's so much so that it had to get banned. But that 1 damage will actually become 3 with Torbrand. So that's pretty intense. Brandon needs to kill some creatures here, or he's not going to be living very long. It looks like he's getting another Flagstones and probably some basic from the Flagstones. Yep, Temple Garden. 2 colors of mana in his 4-color deck. Uh-oh. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my headphones
Yay.
just died.
I missed you so much. Well, if you looked away for a second, David played Ferocidon and Elvish Reclaimer, sacked the Flagstones to go get another Flagstones and a Temple Garden from the original Flagstones.
Yep, makes
So
sense.
Brandon here untapping with 4 mana, potentially 5 if he has a land drop.
Although, I mean, grabbing the Triumph would just be better than Temple Garden, right?
Yes,
Unless he gets Triumph in hand.
the Triome does cycle, notably. Several times in my Niv Mizzet list, I've left Triomes in the deck late game when fetching, just because I'd rather draw a Triome than a Shock.
True.
3 mana, are we seeing? Ooh, an Uro. This this just deals him 3 damage,
Oh,
because he doesn't gain
yeah.
the life from the Ferocidon, and he takes 3 from it entering. This is rough.
Ferocidon doing work here.
Yeah, along with Torbran. This is this is gross. Brandon is now facing lethal.
So he has to
Uro will
block the
not.
Torbrand here.
Yeah, he has to jump block here. Uro will not save you now. Another powerhouse in this deck is Field of the Dead that can get tutored with the Elvish Reclaimer, but that just kills you because of Rampaging Ferocidon, because each zombie that enters bolts you. And that will make you die if it happens too much.
Right now, I'm not seeing any outs for Brandon. Just no way, I think.
I think if he goes like kill Ferocidon, kill Torbran, escape Uro, he could be in this. But that's a big ask. And given that he didn't kill the Ferocidon before just playing the Uro, I don't think he has it. I think
Unless he drew Path.
yeah, unless he drew it off of the Uro, that's very possible. But I guess we'll see. Plays his land off of Uro and ships the turn. And this is not looking good for Brandon. He's at 6 against the Lightning Bolt deck that has a Torbran in play. He's still 2 bolts away from dead because bolts only deal 5, but only deal 5 for 1 mana is kind of a good rate. Attacking with
And
his
Rampaging Ferocidon can't be blocked right now because of Menace.
Menace, and it's attacking for 5 here. And we're seeing the Reclaimer activate, yeah. Well, yep, so he gets to go search up 2 lands, one of which has to be a Plains. So normally, if there wasn't a Ferocidon here, I would imagine you get Field of the Dead and basically win the game. But Ferocidon is just shutting that down hard.
Quite a predicament here.
Brandon's in trouble. He needs some help off the top of his deck. He's currently looking for any way to save him. I don't think he plays anything like Radiant Fountain, which actually wouldn't even do anything because of the Ferocidon. Yeah. I imagine he's also having mana problems, being that he has a 4-color deck with 3 lands that only tap for 1 color of mana. As a Niv Mizzet player, your mana base is rough with these like 4 or 5 color decks. Getting another Flagstone's interesting that now that the Reclaimer's dying, because he won't be able to rampant growth again. And
Maybe just
Sacred
the
Foundry.
Flagstones. As maybe he has another Reclaimer.
Yeah, he could just have
Doesn't
another
look
Reclaimer.
likely.
But he is at 1, so he's dead to a lot of things. Just straight up Lightning Bolt kills him, Chain Whirler kills him, Bone Crusher Giant kills him. Boil
Ooh.
is only a double Stone Rain, but still a
But
double Stone Rain.
I was going to say, if he had land into Scape Shift, that wins, but that takes that off
Oh,
the charts.
yeah, that's true. I forgot that Brandon is also playing Win Conditions. But yeah, that Boil was pretty big here. Double Stone Rain is all you need sometimes. Let's see. Brandon needs a big top deck.
I don't know what could save him, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe Path or Lightning Helix, actually? No, Lightning
Yeah,
Helix would
Helix
work.
unfortunately doesn't work because of the Rampaging Frostodon. If you Helix the Frostodon, it survives until the spell resolves and then dies to state-based effects.
Yep.
But when you try to gain the life, it's still alive. So it says no. And you don't get any life gain. Let's see what he got. He needs something. He needs probably two somethings. Oh, and there's the path. That's step one. Interesting to see the path on the Frostodon. I guess, yeah.
Frostodon is the
Yeah,
more problematic creature.
because he can't do anything with the Frostodon in play. Ren and 6? I don't
Mhm.
think this does it. Unless he has like a Helix in hand and he needs to get back. Well, that still wouldn't do it because he's getting attacked for 4. Oh, does he have another Uro? That still puts him dead
Oh.
because it just gains 3.
No.
What? I forgot about this card. This is a substitute for Dryad with the Scapeshift combo, because it can make all your lands mountains. In this case, it can fix whatever color of mana he needs. Oh, and notably, it's in the deck because it can get tutored off Ranger Captain.
Yeah.
But it also can block. Naming purple. Yep, classic.
Purple is a
Yeah,
land type, I guess.
yeah. This is this is something players do. When it doesn't matter, mana when you top deck
Nope.
a Metamorphose and make purple mana. And it really doesn't matter now. His purple mana will not save him against a lightning bolt to the face. And that looks like it's it. Top 8 game has been won by David with aggro Skred question mark. Unfortunate to see this Scapeshift brew out of the top 8 so soon. But yeah, it be like that sometimes.
Yeah, the Scapeshift deck just ran into a really bad matchup in the deck of Blood Moons and Rampaging Frostodons. It just
Yeah.
you need tremendous amount of luck to get out of that, and I guess Ben just didn't have the luck. Well,
Oh, did he
that's
have the
game.
Scapeshift? Yeah. And that's going to be it from us as this game is concluded. The next one, I don't believe we have a scheduled time yet, but we'll definitely make an announcement because everyone watching is probably already in the Discord. So I'll see y'all next time. I've been Nick.
And this is Mac.
Goodbye and good night. If it's night, it's night.